Have we finally gotten to a place where we're worried about coronavirus?
I've been there, bro.
I know you have. I'm still not worried. And there's a lot of coronavirus in Westchester. I thought it would be interesting to be able to come to you tonight from Coronavirus Central here in Westchester. It's just so bad. I go on the radio and I go, come on, coronavirus. It's the same as West Nile. It's the same as mad cow. It's the same as SARS. It's the same as the bird flu. And then Governor Cuomo from here in New York jumps on the TV and he goes, we do have our first confirmed case in New York. And I'm like, which sucker got this? Probably one of those dirty Long Islanders, huh? And they go, Westchester County. And I'm like,
huh?
You don't mean the Bestchester, do you? Oh, no. And they go, everybody, trust me when I tell you, everybody in Westchester is panicking. Especially like the ladies who lunch. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of stay-at-home moms. I guess there's stay-at-home dads too.
They should all be staying at home now.
Everybody who's got free time and has group texts with their friends is panicking. That's who's panicking in Westchester about this. Because what's happening is everybody's worst nightmare is coming true. People aren't dying in big numbers
yet.
But in, I think, 3 days, we've gone from 1 to 34 cases of coronavirus in Westchester. And it's all spawned off the same guy. So this guy went to this synagogue in Westchester, and he went to like 3 events in a row. And everybody who was at the synagogue is now in self-quarantine. So there's 34 people with coronavirus. There's 100 people that are self-quarantined. Now, the 100 people that are self-quarantined, I'm not getting all bent out of shape about that stat. Because anybody could just decide to get nervous and weird and self-quarantine. I could self-quarantine right now.
That's 100 families.
And just, okay, so like 400 people are self-quarantined. But that's a good point. But my point is, that's self-quarantine. Anybody could do it. Anybody could get nervous. I don't care about self-quarantine. Not a big deal. Any dramatic person that wants to be a part of a thing, part of a happening. Everybody loves to be part of happenings. You know who's self-quarantining? The same people that were at the Popeyes drive-thru. Everybody that just wants to be a part of the thing. I swear to God, I went to CVS here in Westchester because my wife was like, look, let's just make sure we have Tylenol and Motrin for the kids in case we have to break fevers and whatnot, and get a bunch of Lysol wipes just so we can wipe everything down. I was like, okay, that's fair. I go to CVS. The manager of CVS is literally walking down every aisle, spraying Lysol in the air and all over everything, losing her mind. She's like, yeah, they're here. They're in Westchester. I'm like, excuse me, miss, do you have Lysol wipes? And she goes, I mean, we just got a shipment in and we haven't put them out yet. We'll probably put them out later tonight, but they're going as soon as they get put out on the shelf. Like these are precious items. I've seen on Amazon Purell's going for like $98 or something like that. I saw one person's photo, which was great. I don't remember where I saw it, but it was like the Purell on the shelf was completely sold out and the hand soap was stocked aplenty. And I'm like, you lazy schmucks. You can't just add water to it. You can't just wash your hands. That's why everybody has to worry about coronavirus, because everybody's lying about washing their hands. If you just wash your hands when you go to the bathroom, we wouldn't have so much to worry about.
For 20 seconds, though, that's ridiculous.
20 seconds, that's what you teach kids. You don't actually have to do it for 20 seconds. Trust me, I listen to the president. So she's marching up and down the aisles, spraying everything down with Lysol. I can't get any Lysol wipes. I actually had to go to another pharmacy and get a whole bunch of travel-size Lysol wipes. Like a whole bunch of the packets of 15 wipes, just because that's all they had. Nobody has this stuff around here. Because what happened was This guy in Westchester, he's this 50-year-old lawyer who I feel terrible for because every time you turn on the local news, they're like, a 50-year-old lawyer went to it, and everybody knows who it is. Everybody
He
in
goes
his...
to the one church.
Of course. It's a synagogue hot dog. Be respectful.
Yes.
But every single local person, you have to imagine, knows exactly who it is. And he's sitting there. And the first day, it was like, okay, he's got corona. Let's see how this plays out. And within hours, they had announced that his entire family got it and the person that drove him to the hospital. Everybody. That's how we got from 1 to 6 real quick.
Really potent.
I mean, it was crazy. His whole family, kids, wife, the whole deal. And which it would have been solved if his wife had driven him to the hospital. We would have been one less corona'd. But his buddy drove him to the hospital. So his buddy also got corona. And every single person of those 34 people that have it now are all connected to him. All of them. They're all connected to this one guy. He is Westchester's patient zero.
That's not the nickname you want.
Westchester's patient zero? No, you don't. Yeah, I'm the patient zero of corona for my county.
That's awful.
I mean, look, you can't go anywhere. Everybody's talking about New York. They're talking about Westchester. Not the worst thing in the world.
That poor guy.
So everybody's terrified. I'm going to tell you, the reason we started the show late tonight is because I wanted to give Hot Dog a thrill. And I took him on the Westchester CoronaVirus tour. I took him. Where did I take you, Hot Dog?
You took me to the
synagogue.
Yeah.
I took you to the synagogue.
And then you showed me was it the store where like it got spread or something like that?
No, I showed you the CVS where the lady was spraying the Lysol. Yeah. But I did. Earlier this evening, I took Hot Dog to the very synagogue. I said, that is ground zero for Corona in Westchester.
And I said, Sam, why would you take me here?
Topical landmark. I mean, we all like what's going on right now. We like trending topics, you know. I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't take you there.
To ground zero.
Yeah, just to see. We didn't get out of the car. We just took a look.
It's scary.
It is. There's 14 dead, I guess, in the United States, and including Westchester's 34. I believe I read 225 people have been infected so far.
Nationwide
in America. I think there's over 1,000 worldwide. But in America, 225, which is up from like 3 days ago. So now they're saying that the reason the numbers are growing so rapidly is because they just weren't testing for this before. And now they are. So, of course, people are going to test positive now because there were no tests before.
It's 102,235 cases worldwide.
102,000.
Yes.
I did some Brian Williams math there, huh?
Yes.
What'd I say, 1,000?
Yeah, you were off a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you would have to add 101,000 to my estimation. Okay.
3,500 deaths, and maybe.
I guess that's where the 3.5% comes in. That's
Yeah.
real easy math. 100,000 coronas, 3,500 deaths. Move the decimal place over, and you got it right.
So yeah, it's pretty.
Brett Kelly says Westchester sounds very dirty. That's not how it works. It's not dirty. It's just one guy got it, and he works in the city, by the way, so he probably got it from filthy Manhattan anyway. Trump is finally talking about it. By the way, the fact that he's wearing his Keep America Great hat like he's on the campaign trail when he's supposed to be like relaxing us all. I've never seen a president in crisis relax people less than Trump.
He's
like,
not helping.
It's crazy.
This is one of those things where, like, when he was running,
He said he would be presidential,
right? And the other Republicans were like, in a time of crisis,
you got to be.
Is this the man you want?
And we were like, yeah, of course it is. And he was like, stop being a baby. It's just Corona. And he keeps calling it the Corona flu because he's like, it's like the flu, only not that bad. And you're like, really? He's like, yeah, don't even worry about it. He said the survival rate of Corona is actually much better. There was a statistic somewhere. I mean, there's so many crazy articles about this. Some people are concerned. They say that they don't know that dogs might be able to get this thing.
Oh, God.
They don't know. And, you know, they're worried. Like, if people, I have a coworker who has a dog who's 14, and he doesn't care so much if he gets Corona because he'll just be sick for a week or two and be good. But if the 14-year-old dog gets corona, the dog's going to die of corona because 14 times dog years is 486.
Boomer.
And if you're 486, you're officially a boomer and you're going to get corona. This is the boomer killer. This is bad. This is bad news for people. Corona is bad hombre. So, I mean, the man with the most terrible bedside manner I've ever seen, President Trump, did a Q&A today to make sure that everybody relaxed. Of course, he looks like he's fresh off the golf course.
With his swag.
With his swag on. Yeah, making sure everybody knows he does have merch available.
I wonder what's going on here. Now, if you look at the percentage for the flu is under 1%. But this could also be under 1% because many of the people that aren't that sick don't report. So
could be. Mm-hmm. The flu is under 1%. This is at 3%, but it might actually be under 1% because people don't report. So it could be 0%. It could be so low.
Who knows?
Who could ever know? You could never know is the point. You could never know. Right? Which again, I mean, this is kind of similar to MSNBC math. It's like it's 3% now, but who knows? Maybe people aren't reporting it. It could be less.
That's one of my favorite Trump mannerisms where he goes, it could be this, it could be that. Who knows? Nobody knows.
Who knows? Nobody knows. And you're like, I'd like a follow-up question. There's no follow-up question to ask. Nobody knows. You can never know. It's impossible to know.
they're not putting those people in there, and you're smiling when I say that. Who are you from, by the way?
I'm from CNN.
You are? I don't watch CNN. That's why I don't recognize you.
Nice to meet you.
I really don't. I don't watch it. I don't watch
Got
CNN
him.
because CNN is fake news. Go ahead.
Ooh, nailed him. Nailed him. It is nice to know
I start to
that he's not giving up the branding. Like, I know you guys are worried about coronavirus, but you know what the real problem is? CNN is fake news.
Sucks.
It sucks. CNN sucks. I mean, it's never ending. He really is putting the message out there that right now, CNN fake news is more dangerous than coronavirus.
Did you see the press conference that he had about the coronavirus?
What'd he say?
Where it was like a bit of confusion towards the end of it, where he announced Mike Pence was going to be like in charge of the thing.
Uh-huh.
But next to him was one of like the top medical people or whatever, and he was in charge of the thing. So,
so
like,
the guy was sitting there like, I thought this was my job.
Right. So like the press started asking questions like, all right, well, if Mike Pence is taking the lead, what's going on with him? And then like Trump just looks at both of them and he goes, and then he just leaves.
You guys work this out amongst yourselves.
Just let confusion towards. It's just chaos.
Always be cringing brings up a good point that people who have it could also be lying. So maybe less people have it. Well, you know,
For the clout?
Maybe the people who don't have it, who don't report it but have it, they could be canceled out by the people who say they have it but don't actually have it.
Except for the fact that
Could be lies.
Except for the fact you can't even get a test
No.
unless you're a severe case.
They go like this. You know, there's that cruise ship that had corona that was docking in LA or whatever. They go like this. Out of 2,000 people, only 26 have tested positive for corona. And they were like, how many did you test? And they were like, 40.
Only the worst cases.
Only the worst cases. So, you know, only 26 have corona. Don't even worry about that.
It's a weird thing where like all these stats are coming out, but then you hear what's behind that stat, and then you go, oh, but then and it's like everywhere. It's like, oh, these are the numbers, but wait, they only tested this, and they only did
Like
this.
the stats mean absolutely nothing.
The numbers don't mean anything.
They don't mean anything.
Yeah.
And that's not a positive. Like that's not like Trump is spinning that into a positive, but it's not a positive. Like there is no data. Like there's no clue what the death rate is, how many people have it. Nobody has any idea. However, it is good to know that people are at least informed, you know, when they go out there to talk about this.
Do you have any concerns about coronavirus here?
No, I do not. Because we're under protection. We're under Psalms 91, and God is our protector.
Did you realize that, Hot Dog?
No, I only.
Do you know what the cure for coronavirus is?
I only read up to 90. So I don't know.
Then you don't know what the cure is to corona.
Psalms 91.
That's it. Yep. Psalms 91. You know what Psalms 91 says?
No clue.
I just whipped your ass. I think that's what all the Bible verses. That's the only one I know. I don't know. Talk about your Psalms, and it didn't get you nowhere. It got you corona.
Any concerns about how the president is handling it, or are you pleased with his response so far?
I'm very pleased with our president's response so far. I think that the media has made a larger thing than what it should be, and I think that they're trying to incite fear and panic in the public.
Do you think that's one of those things where when they're saying it to their friends, it sounds like, yeah, I mean, the president says this, you like the president, I like the president, we can say this to each other and it sounds reasonable and everything. But then when you step outside the bubble and you talk to somebody who doesn't agree with that, do you think that as you're saying it, you do realize how stupid it sounds?
I think there's like a little sense of timidness.
Yes. Where she's like, look, I know you're going to think I'm a baffling moron, but I must say.
And like her friend's right next to her, so she's like, she has to hold it down.
Her friend's like, I got your back. And she's like, I mean, look, you can agree with the way the president is handling it, but to go so far as to say, I think he's doing a very good job of handling it. Like, okay, all right. I mean, I would say fine at best. And I don't even think fine. But if you were to say, I think he's doing fine, I'd be like, okay, like we could have a conversation here.
But I think that President Trump will handle it perfectly.
So you don't believe coronavirus exists?
Oh, this is her friend now. They were like, she was like, this, by the way, this MSNBC reporter is good. This MSNBC reporter probably would have caught the tweet and gone like, we can't put that tweet on television and agree with it.
Stupid?
You idiots. She was like, if this woman is her friend, I'm gonna need to interview both of you. I think I need to get some more skinny from you, because our MSNBC viewers are loving this. This seems like it's the type of content that would be right up MSNBC's alley, don't you think?
I saw this like 30 times retweeted.
You loved it.
Yeah.
President Trump will handle it perfectly.
So you don't believe coronavirus exists?
I don't.
So the two people who've been reported to have died from it in Washington State, you don't trust that that's true?
I don't trust anything the Democrats do or say.
So that was put out by...
She's a corona truther.
That is a very broad thing.
You don't think they're really dead? No. I don't think they're dead because the Democrats said they're dead. I don't think so.
Anything they say.
Nothing. Not one thing. They're like, good news, we agree on this. She's like, I don't think you do.
Are you a Democrat?
What are you? That all depends. What are you? Are you an elephant or a donkey? Are you red or blue? Which one are you?
Ridiculous.
Well, you're wrong.
I am a Democrat.
You're a Democrat. You're filthy Dem.
Yeah.
The governor of that state, it's been put out by bipartisan lawmakers.
Are they Democrats?
Okay.
Republicans and...
Okay. She just asked if bipartisan lawmakers are Democrats. Come on, man.
Bipartisan. So
I feel bad. Like, I feel like the news should be like, we can't. We can't air this woman.
This is like bullying almost.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, she's a simple woman. You can't air this on television. It's mean. It's mean what they're doing.
No, because you know what? She's gonna go back to her small town, and they're gonna be like, oh.
I mean, she's such an active voter. She's actually at a rally for a candidate. Like, that's how involved in politics she is. She's the top 1% of people that are involved in politics.
But her friends
and she doesn't know what bipartisan means.
Her friends and family are gonna be like, Darcy, you really nailed it to that mainstream media woman.
Yeah, lamestream, more like it. Yeah, leftist lamestream fake news. That they wouldn't even say mainstream media. They'd say you really nailed that woman in her fake news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't trust that that's true?
I don't trust anything the Democrats do or say.
So that was put out by the governor of that state. It's been put out by bipartisan lawmakers.
Are they Democrats?
Republicans and Democrats agreeing that there are people who have contracted the virus, two of whom have died so far.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't believe it.
I believe
smart.
This is a valid virus that's spreading around the world, and we've got to do something.
See, now this guy seems to at least have a little bit of a head on his shoulders. But people are concerned, man. People are scared.
Good reason.
I mean,
I was telling you this on the ride here, but I think this week is going to be where you're going to see like a lot of shutdowns. By the end, at least.
I mean, think about what we've already seen. So they have already. I got my wrestling action figure collection. Mattel has already announced that the next few sets are delayed because shipments aren't coming in from China, which I think is only the beginning. I think that's a big thing. The business is going to be affected by this because of shipping and stuff like that. And the live events, I saw that like the NBA is starting to prepare for the possibility of playing games with no fans in the arenas.
March Madness, too. That's huge.
The NCAA doing March Madness with no fans in the buildings?
They're preparing for that.
I mean, why? It's all college kids anyway. They're just in their dorm rooms.
You know how fast college kids could.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they're all together anyway. They're not staying home unless you're closing the college. Like,
yeah.
If they're all in their dorm rooms anyway, just let them go to the stadium.
That's true.
Like, if they're in the same space anyway, it's not like when I was in Syracuse. It's not like the Carrier Dome was more dirty than the dorm that I was living in.
That's fair.
We're all in close quarters. I don't know what March Madness needs to do all that for.
Ozzy started it.
Ozzy did start it, but I want to see some NBA empty arena games.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome.
That would be cool.
Like, you just hear the squeaking. It would be so loud. It would be so loud. The commentators wouldn't even have mics on because you could hear their voices just like echo, echo, echo.
Oh, my mic's off.
They would have to tell the players you can't curse at each other on the court. Because if you curse at each other, it's going to bounce right off the wood. It's going to hit the ceiling, and it's just going to go everywhere. There's no fans in these buildings. There's none. There's no fans here.
That'd be great. I really want to see that.
I'd be excited to watch it. Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they don't allow people to go to NBA games. I think that would be fun.
Maybe we'll get more empty arena WWE shows.
I hope so.
Not WrestleMania.
Every match. WrestleMania ain't getting canceled. Nope. And I will see to it because I'm going to WrestleMania. I'm not skipping WrestleMania. No.
But a Raw or SmackDown would be cool.
I mean, yeah, it's at this point Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a 5-night extravaganza. You could narrow it down to 3 because we can't. You're not skipping Takeover. I mean, if I'm taking 3, I gotta keep Raw, and maybe we can do Hall of Fame empty arena and SmackDown empty arena.
There's a lot of old people in the Hall of Fame.
That's what I mean.
I want to cancel that one.
Oh, that's fine, but I'm not skipping Takeover, WrestleMania, or the Raw after WrestleMania. You can't. Right. They're too good. So that's not skipping. But Ozzy Osbourne canceled his South by Southwest event, which was to be hosted by poor young Jim Norton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that event was canceled. Then South by Southwest as a whole was canceled. So there is no South by Southwest this year.
That's
huge. And it gets bigger every year. It's a giant industry event. They were all psyched up because they're going to premiere Pete Davidson and Judd Apatow's movie and everything, and it was all to be very excited about.
Those I feel like are the biggest signs of that's what makes me worry the most, because like for something that big to get canceled, it's not on a whim.
No.
That's a lot of money,
and it's not they're not going to be the only ones that cancel.
Right?
Yeah. They're talking about whether or not they need to cancel Comic-Con already in San Diego in July, which I think is a little bit of a ways off, so I don't think that's necessarily
they moved,
has to happen.
They moved James Bond. It was supposed to come out this month, and they moved it all the way down to November.
Why? That's not because of Corona. It's because the movie sucked and they had to fix it.
No, it's Corona.
Why? I mean, they're not closing theaters.
The Chinese markets. They don't want to miss out on the Chinese markets. That's like 20% of their profits.
Oh, I see. The Chinese love James Bond.
How
does the Goldfinger song go?
Goldfinger. He's the man. The man with the Midas touch. It's good.
No, it is. It's a really good song. I've heard.
Yeah.
So South by Southwest is gone. You think Coachella's gonna go?
I think so.
When is Coachella?
Let me look that up. It's
what big events are gonna get canceled?
See,
I think,
Coachella's in April. That's
that's a little close.
Yeah, that's
A little close. Yeah, I think Coachella might be gone.
that one's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty much looking at any big.
Any big gathering.
Yeah,
I hope they don't
Once the big ones like this start doing it, the small ones don't have a reason to keep it going.
Right. It's ridiculous.